Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Today I'm going to be talking about my reading plans going forward, and it's also going to be a very brief mid-year check-in to let you know how my goals that I set at the start of the year are going. If you're new to my channel, then you won't know that I have just finished my TBR. Finally, I have achieved a 0 TBR. It's a goal that I've been working on for 5 years. I started at 163 and I've made it all the way down to 0. And today's video is all about where my reading is going now, because a lot of my goals every year were circled around getting books read off my TBR, not buying any more books. How am I going to go forward? What is going to be my reading life going forward? Quick answer, a lot of fun, as it should be for everybody. So to quickly do a mid-year check-in with goals, at the start of this year, the only reading goal that I set myself was to get all of my TBR done by the end of August. And considering that it is mid-August, I have done this goal a bit early. I'm not going to say blitz because blitz would have been like June or something like that, but it is done and I'm so happy. Now I'm going to talk about goals going forward and plans going forward. The books that I'm going to read are going to be decided using 4 different categories. It's sort of like monthly goals, except that I'm not giving myself that time limit. It'll be a 4-book cycle, and each category will decide what books that I'm going to buy. So the first category is to continue a series. So to read a book that is the continuation of a series that I've already started. Hey everybody, Editing Jo here, who could be bothered to go in front of her shelves but not to like do a proper thing with her hair and makeup and everything. I've decided to edit the series continuation goal a little bit because as I was looking at my shelves and deciding which series I want to continue, nothing was really exciting me, and although I still have them on my shelves because I want to continue this series, I don't know whether it's just the mood that I'm in at the moment or what it is. Maybe I will end up unhauling some of these if I don't actually ever finish them over the next couple of years, but I'm going to open up this category to also include books by an author that I've read before, just to kind of continue and try and read more from authors and maybe try and discover what some of my favourite authors are, because I do subscribe to the belief that I've mostly just seen on Murphy Napier's channel, but I'm sure other people have said it, but that in order to call someone my favourite author, I need to have read like nearly all of their works to be sure. So this goal is now going to be a book that is in the continuation of a series or by an author that I've already read before. The second category is a non-fiction book. I will leave down below in the description a video which is the non-fiction topics that I want to read about, plus many others, because I know making this statement is pretty much saying I want to read fiction without talking about any genres or anything at all that you're going to like. The non-fiction journey is going to be a long and interesting one. It's probably going to come with a few DNF, which I'm not looking forward to because non-fiction books are expensive. I'll probably focus a bit on memoirs, but I also just want to expand my knowledge in general because I'm not very good at geography at all. Not for lack of interest, I guess. Maybe you could be like, I'm not disinterested in geography, but I was never super interested in traveling. So just basic things I'm not aware of. The first book that I actually bought that's going to be a spoiler for my book shopping video, so I'm not going to tell you guys, but continue to subscribe. Subscribe to my channel to find out what is the first non-fiction book that I have purchased to improve my skills and my knowledge of the world. Third category that I want to hit, so the next book that I want to read in the 4-book cycle. Also, I don't have to read these in a specific order except for the last one. Like I can get all 3 of them and then decide that I want to read like the non-fiction first and things like that. This is just like I want to contain these within one cycle. The third being a freebie, so I can just pick whatever the heck I want, which I'm very excited. This is probably going to be the funnest category. And then the fourth, which will be the last, or the first, depending on how you look at, is going to be a reread. My next goal or plan is to continuously read down my TBR. So I'm going to haul the first 3 categories, which is a continuation of a series, a non-fiction, and a freebie. So I'm going to haul all of those probably at the same time, at the same time, roughly, and I'm going to read all of them, and I'm going to read them down. I'm not going to take in any more. And then while I am waiting for the next haul, so whether it's, I'm waiting for online purchases to arrive, or I finished my last book in the middle of the week and I can't go book shopping or to the library until the weekend, I am then going to pick a book to reread from these very shelves. I know that the continuously reading down my TBR goal is going to be tested by external sources and potentially events that I'm going to, the external sources being people. As I talk to people about my reading and especially telling them about how that I've completed my goal, people often have a tendency to want to give me all the books all the time, particularly people that don't read as vivaciously as me and don't necessarily think about reading tastes. I don't necessarily want to turn those books away, especially if it feels like it's going to be a book that I'm going to enjoy. I am going to work on turning away books that I don't think I'm going to enjoy whatsoever because life is too short. And especially as well, I will not be accepting giant series, like all of the series, if I haven't even read the first book, and be like, whoa, horsey, like, let me read the first book first, and then I'll let you know if I vibe with it and whether I want to read the rest. However, I know I'm only human, and if it's something that I don't feel comfortable doing this with, I really, really hope that I don't take in 10 books in one go, or even 5 books. But if it's a confrontational situation and I'm not comfortable with it, or I'm just not comfortable rejecting them altogether, and I want to read it, then I can take them in. I can take in the multiples. But I've got to make sure that I'm reading at least one of those books every second cycle. So every 8 books, because remember, I'm doing a 4-book cycle. Is there an easier way to explain this? Like, is this making sense to people? I don't know. I'm hoping it does. And the final goal or plan that I have is that within each of the 4-book cycles, I have to pick a book not written by a white American and not set in or based on medieval England. And that is because I tend to gravitate mostly towards these books, even though I'm an Aussie, and as you'll notice, I've only said white Americans, I haven't said white Aussies. I don't read a lot of Aussie fiction, no matter what the skin colour is of the author. And I want to try and read more. I want to support Aussie authors, especially in this time. And I desperately want to try and gravitate away from white American authors. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to be reading a lot. As you've noticed, it's only one of the books in the 4-book cycle, so it's only a quarter of my reading is going to be something that I'm calling reading widely. But it's a start. I'm going to reassess this goal probably again at the end of the year, and then every year or every 6 months to see how I'm going, because the main goal, which is probably a bit easier to, like, I should have started with this, but the main goal that I'm doing here is I want to read wider. I want to expand my knowledge. I don't want to be so unknowledgeable about things. I don't want to be ignorant about things, and to do that I need to read outside my comfort zone and outside what media shoves in on us. I need to be a bit more active in my searching. That is it for my reading plans and goals going forward and my mid-year check-in. How is your year going? Is it going well? Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to continue on this journey with me, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!